I thought you guys might enjoy just a little clip as my wife and I get ready to leave New Orleans. You know, we only had like half a day here, half a night really. I mean, half a day, one night. Because of the rushed nature of this trip here. But this is the French Quarters. So where we were staying wasn't the French Quarters. Just regular housing and I guess they turned the apartment there, or a house, into an apartment that you could rent out, which we did. We rented out a room. It's nice. But this is the French Quarters. The GPS might come up here in a moment because I'm trying to head towards Bourbon Street, and it looks like there's a lot of construction going on. I think this whole area was underwater. I'm not sure. We were trying to find where the flood had been from Katrina. But I guess this is the area, I guess, where they do the Mardi Gras. Because, you know, you always see the people on the balconies throwing down beads.
Turn left onto Bourbon Street, then you will arrive at your destination.
So you can see the GPS is telling me we are almost at Bourbon Street. We're going to go to Bourbon Street, drive down Bourbon Street, and just kind of look a little bit around the town here. You can see tourists walking around. Did you want to get out and walk around, honey? Gloria, did you want to get out and walk?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Is he going to go? I'm going to let him go. I think they don't have a stop. We do.
Why they are taking the picture here?
Because this is famous. Bourbon Street is the famous street that everyone comes to. Right here, this street. This is the street that you always see on the pictures.
This is very old.
Yes. This is the street where they do the Mardi Gras and this parade. And see, look, they have all this. You sure you don't want to get out and walk a little bit? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do a little drive-through tour of Bourbon Street. You might be wondering why my wife doesn't want to take the time to get out here. It's because we're kind of in a rush to get back to Florida. She's gonna get to work and make up a lot of money here. That, you know, we spent, even though we were on a very tight budget, it was still kind of quite a little bit of money here to make this trip. It's a 6,500-mile trip. So we're just doing a drive-through of Bourbon Street, and you can see the other tourists here. I think they're gonna walk, so I'm gonna let those tourists by while my wife takes some pictures. But it certainly is an interesting city. And where we were staying, what was kind of freaky was there were so many cemeteries. I could not believe how many cemeteries there were. And they got housing and shops interspersed between the cemeteries. That's just weird. Yes. I think they can hear you on the camera. It's so funny. Do you want me to shut the camera off? I have to what, honey?
You've arrived.
Hey, we are at Bourbon Street. I have arrived. Woohoo! So what do you need, honey?
Do you want to park? We can walk.
Oh, she wants to park and walk. So maybe we can do that since we're here. Now I gotta find parking. Now it might not be possible to park. Let me see if there is one. It says, am I allowed to park here? No, this is blocked off there. They got the cone. What I don't want to do is get a ticket. 2-hour parking, but this is a driveway here. Cannot park there. So now we're looking for parking, except this area is all filled now. We'll see if we can't find one here. If there is, maybe we can walk around a
If
little.
there is not, don't worry.
Okay. So maybe we can park, maybe not.
No.
Huh? 2-hour residential parking this zone. So I'm thinking possibly here. Let the tourists walk. This area, honey, is famous. It is famous area. Cell phone use prohibited. Look at this. Cannot use a cell phone? That's a freight zone. Freight zone means unloading and loading. You cannot park. I don't think there's any parking. You see all the tourists walking around? Well, it looks like this might be our tour of Bourbon Street. We're not going to get out and walk around. It's mostly shops. I'm going to point the camera to the side so you guys can get a view of some of the sights. But this is what the streets look like. And I think we've left the area with a lot of shops. It looks like mostly just buildings. I don't know. I guess you can rent these. It says Lafayette Guest House. So you can rent these. I wonder how much it costs to rent here one of these rooms. Where we were staying, surprisingly, we were able to get that room for like I think it was like $51 for the night. That to me was like incredible. Considering that it was a full-blown, it's like a huge house. I don't know how many rooms, I think like 8 or 10 rooms in there. We got one of the rooms and it was fantastic. So nice for $50. So one of the musicians here walking around. Yeah, it looks like our Bourbon Street visit is just a tour, drive-by tour. I think if we just got out there and walked around, it's just more shops. And I know some of you might want to see it, but we're kind of in a rush. You know, we've got to zip out from here all the way out to Melbourne. I had originally planned on going down the west coast of Florida, but with the time constraint, we're not even going to do that. We ended up sleeping in a little bit. This was the first day we actually slept in. So it's a late start. It's currently, I think, like 10:30 in the morning. So we should have already left here 3 hours ago. I hope you enjoyed the little car ride here through Bourbon Street. For me, it's cool to just be here. Obviously, it would be nice to be here one day during Mardi Gras, possibly, but I tend to hate like big crowds. And you can see even when Mardi Gras isn't going on, it's still crowded. There's no parking here. So, I don't know if I'll ever actually make it to Mardi Gras.
Maybe it's just in this street.
Yeah, it's just that street. It's famous. Those are tourists as well as, I guess, the locals. So, that concludes our little ride through Bourbon Street. I don't know if you guys want to see a little bit of New Orleans. I'm going to drive down and try to head out of here if these people will let me out. Sheesh, that car there, Louisiana.
We can go over there, I think.
No, this is one way. The streets are one way. So I'm gonna have to turn on GPS and